Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Tech Thursday. I'm here again with Liz. How are you doing, Liz?
Pretty good today, Virginia. How are you?
Good, good. I'm excited about today, as I keep telling you.
Yes.
And you're like, why? Why are you so excited? It makes no sense.
We'll find out.
But I guess that's the kind of thing. That's why we work in the departments that we work in, right? Because we get excited about these kind of things.
That's true. Yeah.
So today we are going to talk about Google search and give everybody share some tips, some tricks on how to make your search work for you and what other things you could do in addition to just searching. That's kind of what my plan is. Because as everybody probably does, whenever we say we're going to Google something, it's pretty synonymous as like searching on the internet now, so we know that many people use Google. There are other search engines around, but many do use Google. So we want to make sure that we share some ideas on like how do you search to make sure you get what you want quickly and more efficiently, right?
Yes, efficiency is key because we're online so much. Why spend another moment more online than we have to?
Exactly. Instead of why waste time doing searching when we can watch cat videos, right, Liz?
Yeah. Or find the best cat videos.
Save the time for the cat videos, and then efficiently get the search out of the way, so that we can go watch some more cat videos. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. So do we have anything else? Should we go straight to it today?
Go for it. You're so enthusiastic. I feel like you just get that out of your system right now, Virginia.
All right, let's get that out of my system. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen now, and then we're going to take you through Google. So, okay. So I think we can just do that. All right. Let's just let me know if you're seeing my screen.
Yep, I see the Peabody Library homepage.
Yes, perfect. All right. So we're going to share about 10 tips today and 10 tricks on doing Google search and using Google, and with some bonus here and there. So the first tip that I have, and the first thing that I hope everybody does, and just like what Liz was saying, we spend quite a lot of time on the internet, and sometimes especially when you're on a Wi-Fi connection, waiting for a website to load could take some time depending on how good your connection is, right? So we can save some of that loading time, as much as we can, then we can get to our, what we need quicker. So that's kind of the first tip, is all about that. So I see a lot of people when they want to go to do a Google search. So for example, I've opened up my library website and I'm like, oh, I want to go to CBC, for example. If I know CBC website, which is one very easy to remember, I can just type it right in, right? I can type it right into this thing here. This is the address bar, right? So I can just type in cbc.ca, right? And then I press enter, and then I can get to the CBC website. So that is what the address bar is for, and that's in every single browser that you have. However, this is also called, in other words, search bar, because this is actually where you can type in your keyword searches right in the address, right in this box. You don't actually have to go, oh, I'm going to want to search for, like, say, Rocky Point Park, right? I don't actually have to go to google.com first and then do Rocky Point Park and then do a search that way. That's taking like sort of 2 steps, right? I don't actually have to do that. All I have to do is right in this search box, right on the top there, I can just type in Rocky Point Park. And as you can see, as I'm typing, the nice thing also that Google already does the autocomplete, right? So I don't even have to type everything. I just type the word Rocky and Point Park is already coming up. So I can just press enter, and here we go. So this box right on top is your search box. That is Google. Google sits there already. So no need to go to google.com before you do a search. You can type your search right there. So if I need some some of my cat videos. I can just type cat videos, and here we are. And I hope Miss Corinne is not watching, because if Miss Corinne is watching, she's going to ask me for some dog. She's going to complain about that. It's all about cats and not dogs again. The bonus tip here for you, if you want to quickly get to the address bar, which is this box here, or also now we know it's also the search bar, on your keyboard is Control L, and that would get your mouse cursor right into the search box, and you can see it's already highlighting the stuff that is already there, and you can just start typing, and that will get rid of whatever it is there, and then press enter, and away you go. And Liz, I just want to double check here. It is Command L on Mac?
Yes, it should be Command L.
Command L. So Control L on Windows, Command L on Mac. You can see, look at that dog video. That's better, Liz, than the other one.
Let's not get into that right now.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
He is pretty cute.
Corinne, I hope you're watching. We did this for you, just for you. So that's my first tip. Just use this box and do your search right there. No need to go to google.com first. Let's save one of those loading screens. All right. So the second thing is, and I think this is something that most of you probably already doing, is that when we're doing a search on Google, you're just typing in keyword, right? So here I got dog videos, and a random dog video came up. But what if I want a specific dog, right? So like me, for example, my favorite kind is a Samoyed. So that's the only kind of video I care about. So instead of just typing dog video, I'm going to be a little more specific about it, right? And then that way, theoretically, it should just come up with Samoyed videos. And look at those. Look at how cute this guy is. Oh, anyway, so yeah. So be specific about your search, right? And type as many words as you need to get your search, to get Google to narrow down your search results right to where you need, as specific as you want. So if you're looking for a coffee shop in Port Moody, don't just type coffee shop, because coffee shop doesn't really help, right? Because that could be coffee shop anywhere. So what you want to do is put in the Port Moody to make sure that Google know you're interested in Port Moody coffee shop. And you will see that when I'm doing this, one of the things that you will notice is that one of the autocomplete is coffee shop near me. So if you have location turned on, for example, if you're on your phone and you already have location turned on, what you can do is when you say near me, it will automatically know, okay, well, you are right now, maybe you went to North Vancouver, and so it will know that, like, okay, so you're probably looking for coffee shops in North Vancouver, and it will automatically do that. So that's the near me part. So you can do that for gas station near me, super handy, if you're running out of gas, for example. So you can do that to use, but it does mean that you need to have location services turned on. All right, so that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is put things in quotation mark. If you are interested in a particular phrase, or you need it to be an exact match, then put things into a quotation mark. Will make sure, again, it narrow down the results, and making sure that the results are usually a little more specific, a little more on the topic of what you're looking for. So that's something that, it is something that you might want to do. For example, it works pretty well if you're doing like, maybe you're searching for song lyrics, for example, or you're looking for book quote, for example. Putting that in the quotation mark usually like gets you better results. So, for example, if I'm looking for sometimes you want to go, right? And it figure out that that's your theme from Cheers, for example. Liz, I don't know why this came up, but this is the only example I could think of when I was doing this.
It works.
Sometimes you want to go, and then that's, so if you're looking for things like that, like, like a line of poetry, a line, lyrics, like putting it in quotes does help sort of limit your results and make it a little more to the point. So that's something we recommend you to do, especially if you're looking for phrases that you need it to be an exact match. Tip number 4, this example is just for you, Liz. This is specifically for you. Say, for example, Liz is when the quarantine is over, she is going to go to Boston, for example. So she's going to search for Boston, but very important to Liz is that she does not ever want to see any page, any website that is about the Bruins.
That's right.
So, right. So in order to make sure you don't see anything about the Boston Bruins, what you can do is any words that you don't want to see, just put a minus sign or a dash in front of it. And that, you do have to type the word Bruins, unfortunately, Liz, but that will keep those words out of your search results. So if I do Boston minus Bruins, basically, or Boston dash Bruins, all the results that come back theoretically will not have any reference to Boston Bruins at all. So you're safe, Liz.
That's a wonderful tip, Virginia. Thank you.
I thought you appreciate that one. So that is excluding words. So just do a dash or a minus, right? It also works for no, let's not go there. Okay. All right. So that is like the excluding words. Well, what if you are looking up like I said earlier, for example, like a song lyrics, right? You heard a song on the radio and you remember some words, but you don't remember everything. You kind of remember that it starts with something about like don't cry, but you don't remember what else is in the middle, and something about wasteland, right? So what you can do, and Google is smart enough, is already giving me some answers, but what you can do is anything that you don't remember in the middle, you can put an asterisk. So it's kind of like what they call a wildcard. So in this case, like Google is going to fill out the middle for you. So what we're going to do is don't cry is what you remember. You remember wasteland. You don't remember what the whole line is in the song. So I'm going to just let Google know I'm looking for a song, press enter. And here we are. We have the lyrics right here. Don't cry, raise your eyes, it's only Teenage Wasteland by The Who. So that is something that you can do if you only remember some words. And this come up quite a bit at the library. Very often we have people coming in and say, I heard about a book on and I read about a book in a paper and I don't remember what it is. I remember some words, can you help me find it? This is a good thing for us, we often do this just to kind of fill in the gap. So, for example, yesterday at our book chat, which I hope you all got a chance to watch it. The recording is still up on Facebook, so please go take a look. On a book chat, Fiona, for example, mentioned a book. I don't remember the exact title, but I want to read it, and I can't remember what it is. But I think it has something to do with the word mine and something about ground. And clearly, Google is not suggesting anything that is remotely like what I was looking for, right? So I don't remember what it is, but something in the middle. And then it is a book. So I'm going to tell Google it's a book. And let's see. So we've got a mine spread out on the ground. That is the full title of the book. So that little asterisk really helps, whenever you can only remember some of the things, but not everything. Stick the asterisk in, and then Google will fill that out for you. So that is my tip for doing search. And one more before we actually look at what happens after we get the search results. This is what we call doing a site search. And what that means is that right now when I'm looking for, say, for example, you can see in this result here, I'm looking for the book A Mind Spread Out on the Ground. You got a result from CBC, you got some result from Penguin Random House, probably the publisher of the book, you got Amazon, you got Goodreads, you got, Google Books, right? So it is from multiple different websites that mention the book A Mind Spread Out on the Ground. However, if I'm only looking, I only want to find this particular thing in a particular website, then I don't want to just put all this in. Like, I don't want to see results. Like, for example, if I only want to see results from CBC, I don't want to see results from anything else, then there's a way to limit it so that you only see CBC result. When does this come in handy? So, for example, if you buy things from, I don't know, say if you're looking to buy a new TV, and you want to search and see what Best Buy has, for example. So what you can do, and to tell Google, I only want to see TVs available at Best Buy, for example, you can do a search for that particular site. So all you need to do is type in the word site first, do a colon, and then type in the website address. So you do need to know what the address is. So in my case, let's do bestbuy.ca. I'm going to put a space, and then I'm going to type in my search term. So in this case, I'm looking for a TV. So I'm going to press enter. And you can see here, all the results now come back are all from Best Buy and nowhere else. Because I have told Google I'm only interested in anything from Best Buy. I also use this quite a bit when I'm searching for recipe. I think one of our staff favorite recipe sites and also recipe books is Skinny Taste, right? So I remember like I made a salmon recipe from Skinny Taste a while ago, but I don't remember what is it called. So to make sure that if I just type in salmon recipe, as you can imagine, lots of things will come up, but they're going to be from many different websites. They're going to be from different things. So it may not be what I'm looking for. I'm only looking for Skinny Taste salmon recipe. So what I can do is do the site. So, and I'm going to say skinnytaste.com. And so in this case, you don't have to do the www, you don't have to do the HTTP and all that. You just type in skinnytaste.com, and I'm looking for salmon. So now, instead of getting results like this from all different recipe sites, if I press enter, I am only going to get results from Skinny Taste. So I'm only getting salmon recipes from Skinny Taste. So that comes in pretty handy. I also use that sometimes if there's a specific website that I like, and like I'm looking up information and I'm only interested in, from that particular website. That's kind of usually what I use the site search for. So that is doing a site search. So let's see, now we've got a bunch of results, right? So now what happened once we've got a bunch of results, you can see in this case, because I actually did limit it to by the site, it only gives me 1,560 results. Still too many for me to go through, but at least it's pretty small. But imagine if I'm just doing like salmon recipe like I did earlier, you can see there is like 362 million results. Like there's just way too much stuff. So how can I limit it to, limit this result a little bit more to help me find what I need? So that's what we're going to look at next. So we just did some search tips, right? So we did like using a wildcard, using an exclude, using a quotation mark for a phrase, putting in specific words and doing a site search. So now we're going to look at, once we've got the results, how do we limit it to make things better, to make it easier for us to go through? So the first thing I want to point out, and this is by popular demand from all the library staff that work at the information desk, is if you're looking for doing a search, oh, this is not coming up just like last time. Let me switch over to my other browser. And I'm going to search for back pain. And of course, the other thing also is that Google does a very good job doing correcting misspellings. And I don't know about you, Liz, but you're probably a perfect speller. But like when people come and ask for books, and when they're telling me things that I cannot spell, I usually just go to Google, and it will always help me find the right spelling, and then I put it into our library search and make sure I get the right thing.
They're there to help you.
Yeah, Google definitely helps with the searching. So here I am looking for back pain. Let's see whether it does it or not. Yeah. Okay, so yes, it does. So back pain, right? So I'm looking for this. And very often people are like, oh, well, I'm just going to click on the first link that is on there. Well, guess what? Usually, the first few links that you can see has a little bit of addition in front of the website address, AD. It is telling us that this is actually an ad. So if you click on any of these are all paid ads. It's actually not, I wouldn't say it's not legitimate results, but they are sponsor results. So these companies have paid Google to make sure that their website comes up first. So are they necessarily the best website for you to look at if you're looking for back pain? Maybe not. So be aware when you do a search, make sure when you're looking at it, like, and see, if you see this little like prefix in front of the website address. If you see AD, or sometimes on this side, it will say sponsor. If you see any of those, that means this is actually a paid ad. It may or may not be what you want. Right? So that's just something quite important to pay attention to, just so that you're not clicking on an ad, especially if you're looking for things like a medical kind of information. Like, you don't want to go to a website that is, like, buy a product, of course, then they're going to tell you that this is a product you should use if you have back pain, as opposed to like a website, say from like Mayo Clinic, for example, that actually explain what back pain is and, talk about symptoms and causes. So, it's kind of looking at what the legitimate website would versus like a product website. So just be aware of those first few results. Very often they are ads. They are paid for ads by the companies. All right, so let me just switch back over here. All right, so this is one of the things that you want to watch out for when you see the ads. So how about, like, if we're looking for, like things that you want it to be up to date. Right. So, for example, I want to know what Globe and Mail bestsellers are, in the past month. Right. I'm looking for some new books, and I'm interested in what other people are reading. So I'm going to type in Globe and Mail bestsellers, for example. Right. And as you can see, they're suggesting choices. Right. So you don't always have to type in the whole thing. This comes in really handy, especially when you're on a mobile device. Right. Like, if you don't, it saves you some typing. So I'm going to say Globe and Mail bestsellers, right? But you can see, if I just do that particular search, a lot of things will come up, and they're not necessarily giving me the latest list. I'm interested in like maybe lists of, like the last month or so, right? So how can I improve these results? So that I don't have to look through like 3 million of results, right? So one of the things you can do is go to the top. You can see here, there's some ways for you to filter your results, to limit them. So what I love to do usually is go to Tools. And when I go to Tools, there's two different options. And the ones that I generally like to use when I'm looking for latest results, or like, web pages or information that is produced within, say, the last month, within the last year, that kind of thing, I usually like to limit it by any time, especially if it is, you're looking for information like, say, for example, you want to buy a new laptop and you want to know like what is the best one, right? You don't care about like what they think the best laptop is like 5 years ago. You want to know what they think maybe within the last year or so. This is a really handy feature to limit your results to pages that are produced, that are made within the last year, for example. So if I click on the little arrow there, I can limit this by just results that is happened in the past hour. This is especially useful if you're looking for like breaking news, right? But in this case, I would like to see the last, say, the Globe and Mail's bestsellers in the last month. So I'm going to limit it to just the last month. And then the results you can see, now I get results like from July 4, June 27, July 11. You can see these are within sort of the last month. So that's a quick way for you to limit results by dates, to get the latest things, or whatever kind of time frame that you're interested in. So that's what this time limit is. Another thing you might want to do, for example, say you're searching for Port Moody and you are interested in not maybe websites, you might be interested in photos of Port Moody. What does Port Moody look like, right? Another kind of handy way to limit it is right up here. You can actually limit it by types of results. So for example, you're interested in images of Port Moody. So you can click on that image link and it'll give you pictures of Port Moody. Or maybe you're interested in news about Port Moody, and that will give you news article about Port Moody. So that's another handy way to limit your results to just the format that you like. Or maybe you're interested in videos, you can click on the videos to limit that. Another tip that we have about filtering results is, for example, you're doing an image search. Let's say one of our Adult Summer Reading Club category is books with a blue cover. So when I was doing a book list for books with blue cover, I'm trying to remember what is blue. But one of the things I can do is do a Google search on that. So what I can do is say, I'm going to just say book covers. So I'm going to doing a general search on book covers. And of course, all kinds of book covers are going to show up. But if I just want blue ones, what I can do again is go to Tools. And you can see when you're doing image search, I actually have a choice to limit by color. So I'm going to click on blue, and all the results are, I don't know why. I guess this one is together. That's why this one came up. But you can see all the blue cover books are coming up. So you can do an image search and use like color to restrict it. Or if you're looking for a free image that is copyright free for you to use, say, for example, on your website, on your blog, for example, you can use this usage rights limit to limit it to just images that you have the rights to use, for example, for non-commercial use. So these little like limits here are really useful for, again, to filter your results down to what you need. Speaking of image search, one of the things you can also do is what we call a reverse image search, which means, for example, you have a picture that you took and you don't know what it is, and you want to find out what it is. You can actually put that picture, upload it, basically what they call upload it to the Google, and ask Google, what is this? So let's do an example. So whenever you're in image search, which is where I'm in right now, in the search bar, in addition to, like your search button or microphone, which is like if you want to do a voice search, there's also this little camera icon. What does that do? Let's find out. Let's go click on the camera icon. And what I can do is I'm going to upload an image. I want Google to search one of my image. So let me know what it is. So I'm going to click on upload. And when you click choose file, it was going to open up your Window Explorer or your Finder on your Mac to find out kind of like to search kind of the files that are on your computer. So if I click on choose file, and I'm going to go into my folder. So I have an image of an owl. I know it's an owl, but I don't know what kind of owl it is, for example. So I want to find out what it is, and I want Google to tell me. So what I'm going to do is, this is called reverse image search. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click open. And now it's going to upload a file. And then Google is going to do a search based on my image to show me what possibly this is. And it has correctly identified that this is a great horned owl. And it's giving me search results about great horned owl. And it also gives me similar image to the ones that I took. So that's a nice handy way if you're looking for, like identifying animals, for example, identifying like plants, or like the other example I had was, like I was watching like Great British Bake Off, and I'm like, I remember this thing that they make, but this, I don't know what that is. You can get an image and you can plug it into Google, and Google will tell you what it is. So this is a reverse image search, so pretty handy sometimes. Another thing that you can do, we've got image, also video. So for example, let's go back to cat videos to keep this happy. So, oops, cat videos. See, yeah, so you don't have to spell things right, Google knows. So cat videos, for example. And so I'm interested in video, so I'm going to go into the video tab here. And when you have videos, you can actually limit by how long you want the video is. So under tools again, I can actually say for Liz, for example, like for me, a 4-minute cat video is probably enough, but Liz probably would like 20 minutes or longer cat video. So what you can do is you can just click on one of these to choose, to limit it to show you results that are whatever duration that you want. So in this case, we have a whole hour list of cute and funny cat compilation video just for you.
Amazing. Amazing,
yeah,
Virginia.
So that's what you're going to do the next hour, I'm imagining.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. so that's a nice way for you again to limit, like to search your videos and then limit it to what you need. So by duration, by quality, for example, like if you only care about high quality videos, for example, then you can do that. So this is another way to limit it. All right. So those are the sort of search things, and the last thing I'm going to talk about is kind of what you can do with your, if you're like asking like Siri to do things for you, you're asking like, hey, Google on your Google Assistant to do things for you. Google search itself can also do a lot of those other things. So instead of just searching for things, Google actually also lets you do some pretty useful things. For instance, you can get Google to do calculations for you. So you don't actually have to use your computer calculator or bring up your phone calculator. So for example, if I want to do, I want to know like what 28 times 6 is. Oh, I'm in video. That's why it's not giving me the results. Let's switch back here. So if I do 28 times 6, it will tell me that it's 168. So you can do calculations just in the search bar. And you can do it in this search bar, and like we said, way in the first thing we said, you can also do it up there. Another thing I like to do is converting things when I'm looking at recipe. So for example, like if it requires like, it requires 1 pound of, ground turkey, and I'm like, I don't know what 1 pound is because my turkey pack is grams. So I can say like, what is 1 pound 80 grams, for example. And Google will do conversion for us. And once you bring this up, like if you're like, oh no, I meant like actually 1.5 gram. So you can adjust it accordingly once you've got this little conversion tool that you bring it up by just typing in what is 1 pound in grams, or convert 1 pound in grams, or anything like that. You can also define words. You can get Google to tell you meanings of words. So for example, define, I don't know, hey, Kraken. Look, there's Kraken. Define Kraken. So I'm going to say define Kraken, and it's going to give me the dictionary of what a Kraken is, and also it gives you an option to listen to somebody saying Kraken, right? So you can also listen to the pronunciation. So that's pretty cool. Translation also works the same way. So if you're interested in translating words, so for example, translate thank you in Spanish, and then you can bring up the translation tool. Okay, and then again, same thing, you can listen to Google pronouncing thank you in Spanish. Setting timer, another thing you can do, if you're cooking and you just need, like you need 30 minutes in the oven, set timer for 30 minutes, if you can spell it right. And it will start the timer right there for you, right? Tip calculator, if you're out in a restaurant, you need to know how much you should tip. You can do a tip calculator there. You're looking for like just quick facts like dates, for example. When is BC Day? So BC Day 2020. Whoops. It will tell me that BC Day is on August 3rd, for example. Or if you're looking for phone number, Port Moody Library phone number, right? It will quickly come up with the phone number. You don't even have to look through the website to find the phone number, for example. So super handy. Weather is the same thing. So you can say weather Winnipeg, and then it will come up with the weather. So again, these are all quick things, so you don't actually have to go to a separate website to search for this information. If you're looking for quick facts, very often Google can give you the answer almost like right away in there. Some other fun things, last but not least, some other fun things that Google does, you can ask Google to roll a dice for you. For example, roll a 6-face dice, right? Or you can ask Google to, flip a coin. And it's going to flip a coin for us. It's tails. Or this is some weird Easter egg that they have like hidden in. Do a barrel roll, and you will see that your whole screen tip. This is just a little fun Easter egg that Google has hidden on there, which Google does a lot. And last but not least, soon on August 2nd, I believe, on August 2nd, we're gonna be needing this. Canucks versus Wild score. So of course, no games has happened, but you can see the previous games results right there. Looks like according to these results, not so good. But that's something that we'll be soon doing in August. So you can just type in for any sports score, you can just type that right in, and it will give you the current score right away. So no need to go to other websites to look for that. Just ask Google. So those are, I think, all the time we have to go through these little quick tips. Liz, is there anything that you want to add?
That was great, Virginia, and I appreciated the addition of the Google Easter egg with the barrel roll. So if you Google
do a barrel
Google
roll.
Easter eggs,
Yeah.
you'll also find other fun sort of hidden things that they have. It's like a secret menu.
Yeah, there's like this Pac-Man game. You can do solitaire on there. You can do tic-tac-toe, like all sorts of fun things on there. Yeah.
That was awesome. I feel like this will help me search more efficiently for cat videos that are of a specific duration or books in a certain color.
Yeah, that's the one that I love the most, like doing image search and just limiting to a particular color. The only thing that I want is like look at blue ones. Yeah, that one I use quite a bit. Yeah, the time is the other one I use. Like like when we're doing, like, say for example, we want to know what the size of a Facebook photo these days are, right? Like, and you don't want to know the size like 5 years ago because that will be out of date. So, I'm always looking for like, okay, what is the current size? And then if you limit it by just articles that is published like within the last year, for example, then you know that you're getting the latest results rather than like some old numbers that are no longer correct. Yeah. So I hope everybody enjoyed and make use of some of these tips in your next Google search. And next week, I think we are doing keyboard shortcuts. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, so more productivity tips, this time with doing things within your computer and that you can use in your online searching as well. So stay tuned for that.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Because our hands don't like to leave the keyboard. We don't have to.
No time for that.
Saving time. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So thank you everyone for watching. If you have any tips to share about what you like to do when you're doing Google search and things that you find useful, please put it in the comments. We'd love to know what kind of tips you have. And if you have any questions about anything that we talk about today, feel free to leave that in the comments too. We will check and and get back to you if you have any questions. If you're looking, the library is now open for control access. So for limited hours for browsing and also curbside pickup at the moment, but we are still doing tech help if you would like online. We're not able to do them in the library yet, but we would love to meet you online over Zoom, and then we can do tech help like what we normally do. So if you have any tech questions and you like some help, feel free to go to our website, book a tech help appointment. And so until next week, have a good week, have a good afternoon, and enjoy the hot weather out there. I know some people like that, not me, but other people like hot weather for some reason. So enjoy, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye for now.